So here we are in the actual assessment multiplication facts. I've already completed, I put some marks in already for the bottom half just to save some time, but I'll just show you when you come, this will all be blank near the bottom. You'll just tap on the top, student, Anita Bath, and type in what score she got out of 20. So let's say 19, and then you tap on rating, and let's say that's excellent. Then you just go to the next person, Eager Beaver, say 14, tap on the rating, and say satisfactory. Then tap on the score for the next one, and so on. So you just kind of go through and put in the scores, basically. Now, one thing that could save you some time is if you give students a number, and every time they pass an assessment, they put the number in the assessment, or at least pass it in the order of their numbers. So it goes number 1, 2, 3, and so that when you get your assessments, if they're on paper, then they're in this order already, so you don't have to kind of scroll up and down the list to find a particular student. It'll kind of go in order, and it just makes it a little faster if you're typing in assessments from a paper. So now that I've got all my assessments in, you can go to the top here where it says student name, and you'll see it looks almost like a little bar graph, but it's really supposed to be a kind of a sorting symbol. So it means sort kind of in order. So I can tap that student name, and I can change this to rating. And what that will do is it'll separate the students. It has beginning here, all the ones who had satisfactory, and all the ones who had excellent. And that it's useful for that. I can quickly identify who I need to spend some more time with. If a TA comes in and they want to work with some students and they say, what can I do? I can quickly look on assessment and say, oh yeah, these guys, they didn't quite get multiplication facts, and I might get the TA to work with them, or volunteer, or whatever. So, or I might work with them. So I have this sort. Just makes it easy to kind of group your students really quickly. Now, I'm going to go back and just show you another fast way to do an assessment. This here is a 3-point rating scale. So you can see I have these three: beginning, satisfactory, and excellent. If I use a 2-point rating scale, it kind of comes up a little differently. All the other ones will come up like this. So just have just have more values, 4 or 5 values in here. But a 2-point one, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to this screen. This screen shows all of the assessments I've done. I'm going to go and create a new assessment. So I could do it right from here, this plus button at the top of the screen. And you can see this looks very familiar to a button on the main menu. So I'm going to go back to the main menu just to show you. I go to assessments, create assessment, and that's that same kind of menu. I'm going to go general. I'm going to go general assessment again. And I'm just going to say multiplication facts 2. That should be a capital, but no, fix it. And subject, math, term, I'm going to leave everything else blank. I could put a value, but I think I'll just leave it out. And I'm going to go to a rating scale. And I'm going to go, instead of 3, 4, 5, I'm going to go 2-point. So I can either this 2-point here, or I can change the words. I'm just going to leave it like this though, and submit. When it comes up to the 2-point, instead of having the drop down, this is faster. I can just tap, got it, still developing, oops, sorry. See how this is disappearing? You go, oh, what's going on here? I just made them and they're disappearing. What's happening is it's sorting. It's still sorting by rating. If you look at rating at the top there, and so if you look down here, it's automatically sorting them as I go. It kind of jumps around a bit that way, and so you might want to change this to student name and just keep it like this until the end. But if it is jumping around, you know why. And just look up to that top and just change it to student name. So I could go down here, and I find this useful if I'm just really kind of making observations as I walk around the class, or as students are answering questions in a kind of discussion. I can just have my iPad and just go, yeah, that person got it. They're still working on it. They've got it. And I just kind of go through and mix them up, tap, and just do yes, no. Because really all I want to know is isn't a definitive mark. They're not because I put still developing. It just means I want to really take another look at that student again later because it didn't appear this day that they had it. And so I could find out the next day, oh, they knew it. They do know it. And so then, but at least I kind of know now I should take another look at them. So I'm going to sort right now by rating. So it's going to put them in rating. Now, these ones here, blank ones go at the top. That's useful because then next day, if they're doing a similar type of activity, I can wander around and I'm going to make sure I take a look at these particular students. And I'll tap yet. And again, it's on rating again, so they're jumping away on me, but that's all right. And so I could do this, and I could get them all. If someone was absent, I usually just click in the where it says the score, and I just put A, B usually, just so I know. And I don't put any other mark. So there we are. So now, it's a faster way, I find, of, especially if you're making observations as you're walking around, to use the 2-point. Again, it's just to get a kind of an idea of how your students are doing and who might need some more help.